Welcome! I'm so excited that you're here with me at Imagination Station today. It's going to be so much fun. To start our time together, I have a familiar question for you. Who brought their imagination? Looks like some of you might have forgotten your imaginations, but that's all right. It's only day 2. I had a feeling some of you might forget your imagination, so I talked to my friend Ava for some ideas. I think you might have met Ava earlier. She's a red-tailed hawk. Anyway, she told me something incredible. God is so imaginative that he created the red-tailed hawk to have a unique, one-of-a-kind, creative call. Okay, so let's close our eyes and pretend that we're red-tailed hawks on top of a big, beautiful mountain, and we're about to take flight. That was cool. Ava has an amazing call. Okay, here we go with our talk starter question for today. Red-tailed hawks have amazing eyesight, but can they see colors or can they just see black and white? Pause the video to think about your answer. Okay, let's make a drum roll before I reveal the amazing answer. And the answer is red-tailed hawks can see colors. In fact, they can see more colors than humans can. Imagine that. Well, I can see that your brains are bubbling over with imagination. So let's see what we can discover about those bodacious things called bubbles. I have my bubble wand, so I'm gonna blow a couple bubbles for you. Just look at those bouncy bubbles. Aren't they cool? They float, they fly, and they even have colors inside. They make me happy because they remind me of hope. Hope lifts my spirit just like bubbles lift into the air. And bubbles are beautiful, just like the hope that we have in Jesus is beautiful. Every time you see a bubble, remember that Jesus' power gives us hope. Did you know that bubbles are actually made from a layer of water between 2 layers of soap film? It's kind of like a soap sandwich. Did you know no matter how a bubble starts out, if you leave it alone, it'll turn into a perfect sphere? So, let's watch our bubbles for a minute to see that perfectly round shape that they make. Wow. Does anyone know why bubbles always form spheres? A bubble always forms a sphere because that shape has the least amount of surface tension. Of all possible shapes, a sphere has the smallest amount of outside area. That's why bubbles all want to be round. Imagine that! You know, today's Sciencey Fun Gizmo includes a couple of spheres, but they won't burst like bubbles. I can't wait to show you. Today we're discovering that Jesus' power gives us hope. I don't know about you, but I really need the hope that Jesus gives us. Like we just saw, bubbles rise into the air when we blow into bubble solution. Today's Sciencey Fun Gizmo kind of reminds me of bubbles, but it's way more fun. This, my friends, is called a hope and hover. I love how it works. Watch this. And sometimes another friend might be feeling down, and I can tell that friend about the hope that we have in Jesus. Then the hope Jesus gives can help my friend feel better. And other times I can celebrate with my friend that we both have hope in Jesus. We can thank Jesus together for the hope he gives us. Now it's your turn. Your hope and hover can remind you that Jesus' power gives us hope.
Trust Jesus!
Now it's time to grab your Stay on Track pack. Go and get the hope and hover supplies out of it. Pause the video and go get them. Okay, so the way you're going to start is you're going to take your cardboard flute and put the blue rings into the hole that looks like a square. Make sure that when you put this in, the rings are on top of the 2 other holes on your flute so it's going long ways. Then you're going to take your 2 styrofoam balls, and something fun that you can do is draw on them to make it represent you and a friend. So if you want to do that, go ahead and pause the video and go draw on your 2 balls. So the way to make this work is you start with putting 1 ball in a hole, and you put your finger over the other hole that the ball is not on top of and blow into the flute. Your ball should hover into the air like that. Then you can put the other ball on there and put your finger over the hole under the first ball and blow into it again. Whoa. Then your second ball should float into the air. If you want to make both of the balls float into the air, don't cover any of the holes up and just blow into your flute. Sometimes we're up and sometimes we're down. The hope Jesus gives us can always lift us up, and we can share the hope we have in Jesus with our friends and family members. Then they can be lifted up by the hope of Jesus too. Jesus' power gives us hope. That's it for Imagination Station today. I hope you had a good time. Experiment more with your hope and hovers and tell us about how it goes. I'll see you later.